in the Middle East. This is more than Gaza. This is peace in the Middle East, and it's an incredible thing.
If all goes well, it could indeed herald a new dawn. Let's go now to Israel and catch up with Sharon Haskell, Israel's Deputy Foreign Minister again. Thank you so much for joining us again, Sharon. I really appreciate it.
Hello, Chris.
Can you share with us your sense at the moment? There must be incredible optimism and enthusiasm, but also deep wariness as well. Tell us how you and your government expect the next days and weeks to unfold.
Well, today we have a governmental meeting that is going to discuss the in-depth detail of this deal, but I do believe that it will be approved in the cabinet. We are very hopeful. We're very hopeful, but we are being reserved because we understand that until this deal is signed with this terrorist organization, we can't really trust that it will be executed. But we really thank President Trump for all the effort and the pressure that he put on Hamas, gathering together Israel and the Arab countries in order to reach the ceasefire, in order to release the hostages. And, here in Israel, we all pray that within a couple of days, at least the 20 live hostages that have been held in the dungeons of torture of Hamas for the last 2 years will be back home in the loving arms of their families.
It's just so much to hope for. Just walk us through the detail there. Just to confirm, you believe there are 20 living hostages still held by Hamas, and I believe it's 28 bodies of killed hostages.
Yep.
And
exactly.
what is the time frame at the moment for their return?
So the time frame that President Trump put in was 72 hours from the moment we signed the agreement. There may have been some changes during the negotiation. We will know more of the details after the governmental assembly or meeting that is going to happen later on today. But it's also important to know that this is a very difficult day for Israel as well, because we will need to release hundreds of terrorists with blood on their hands, people who have murdered children and women and innocent men throughout the years. The families of those victims are in a difficult situation and in a heartbreaking moment as well, when they will know that people perpetrated those horrendous acts, monstrous acts, will be released freely into society. Some Hamas activists who have participated in the 7th of October mass be released. And so this is, as much as it's such a joyful moment, it is also a very difficult period of time for us Israelis here.
It's a terrible price to pay and a very risky one, but those prisoners in the main will be released back into the Palestinian territories. Tell me about some of the Hamas leadership who will be given safe passage by Israel to go to third countries. What countries are agreeing to take Hamas leaders?
So, unfortunately, in the past, obviously, Turkey and Qatar have accepted Hamas leadership. It's been living in luxurious hotel while they conduct a war and they abuse their people and put them through suffering. Those two countries have accepted in the past, but it's also important to know that some European countries have accepted in the past as well. We don't know all the details yet. And, the small letters of the agreements are going to come into a discussion in a few hours here at the cabinet meeting of the government of Israel. We will discuss the names, the timelines, places where they will be deported to. These are very difficult decisions that we need to make. But Chris, it's also important to know that throughout the last 2 years, Israel have made huge concessions that has cost us so much in order to go through a diplomatic path to bring back our hostages home.
People have been gathering in Hostage Square in Tel Aviv this morning. They've been gathering there daily for 2 years. I visited there earlier this year. I also went and met with the hostage families who have their own organisation and means of support. Tell us about what's going to happen with those hostage families, the support that the government's going to continue to give them, and in particular, the support that's going to be needed for those families who tragically will be welcoming home the bodies of their loved ones.
Yeah, well, there has been celebration in the hostage square since 2:00 in the morning. It is such a relief for many of these families who will either be able to hold and hug their loved ones, or finally they'll be able to bury their loved ones. It's very difficult though when they come back, and we know that from testimonies of people who survived Hamas's captivity and Hamas's torture, that the rehabilitation process is very, very difficult. Many of them, most of them, haven't returned to a normal life. I think that most Israelis and most of our society didn't start a healing process because we've been waiting for them to come back home. And only now, if we'll be able to release them and bring them back home, this entire nation will start a healing process. But for those who were held for 2 years, tortured, abused, sexually, physically, emotionally, psychologically, this can take years, if not a lifetime, to recover from something like that.
Sharon Haskell, thank you so much again for joining us today on this momentous day. I appreciate it greatly. Sharon Haskell there, the Israeli Deputy Foreign Minister. It's for the